We all love hailing a car with an app. It's easy, it's convenient, but the truth is, when that car shows up, you really don't know who's in the driver's seat.
Uber driver under arrest.
A driver accused of raping his passenger.
We're stepping into a vehicle of a total stranger who could harm you, who could wreck the car. And so there's an inherent vulnerability to these ride-sharing programs.
911.
No one needs to be riding with this crazy man, and he doesn't need to be on the road.
When an Uber passenger places a request, it gets routed to a nearby driver, and as soon as they accept it, they go drive to the passenger. And that passenger will actually see the picture of the driver, and they can follow along on their route as they drive to pick them up.
It's 4:21 in the afternoon, and Uber driver Jason Dalton is picking up his first ride of the day, Mellen.
Uber had just come to the Kalamazoo area, and he decided that was a way to make some extra money.
To raise money for a vacation.
He was new to Uber, was just learning how to figure out the app. They had good reviews of his rides.
This one ride would unleash 8 hours of terror in Kalamazoo, and we've been covering this story for years now from the very beginning.
Matt Mellen was going to pick up his car after leaving it the night before at a friend's house.
So he picked me up here.
Do you notice the names of the Uber drivers when you get in there?
I mean, sure. I mean, I always look at their photo.
Right.
Do I pay much attention to that? Not really.
Matt was one of the first of many people whose life would be affected by Jason Dalton that day.
He did have a dog in his back seat, so I sat in the front seat because the dog was in the back seat.
Jason took his dog for a walk before he started driving riders in the Uber.
So he hopped in, and he started off on the route.
At this point, everything was fairly normal. He did receive a telephone call, and he took it over the Bluetooth speaker. It was one of his children.
How long did that phone call last?
It was rather brief. I would say maybe 2-3 minutes.
His son calling, wanting to know if he wanted dinner. It was dinner time. He hung up the phone, and things changed.
Then, out of nowhere, it was like he was dealing with a completely different person.
That's when he slammed the gas pedal, and then boom, we were off.
How fast do you think he was going down the street?
It was pedal to the metal, probably 75, 80 miles an hour down this road. I was bracing for impact, basically.
Jason is running stop signs, he's speeding through traffic, and Matt is in the front seat thinking he might die or that their car is gonna get T-boned. He wants out of that car.
He was worried that he wasn't going to make it home. He wasn't going to see his family or friends again. He was terrified.
I was pleading for him to stop at this point because it was like, you just hit that car. And he's like, I didn't hit any car.
Is his tone normal? Is he sort of conversational?
Yeah, he was rather calm. He was like, what's wrong with the way I'm driving?
As he's going 75 miles an hour
Yeah,
down these
swerving in and
residential
out of
streets.
traffic, yeah. We were going so fast, we just blew right through this. At one point, I even thought about hitting him. I was like, oh, there's my friend's street, which obviously it wasn't because we blew past it.
You're just trying to get him to stop anyway.
Yeah. Basically, I was pointing out random houses. And I was like, oh, there's my friend's house, there's my friend's house, there's my friend's house. Finally, he like slammed on his brakes.
I heard this loud screeching noise, and our neighborhood is normally very quiet and very subdued. There's not really any traffic. So I ran out into the front yard. The silver Chevy Equinox came screeching to a halt, and a door flew open, and like this guy does a tumble roll out of the car. And I couldn't tell if he had been pushed, shoved, or he actually jumped out of the car. I see this driver, dark, heavy rimmed glasses, crazy gray hair. He looked very agitated.
And did he immediately take off again?
Yeah, he burned his tires out. It was like, call 911, call 911. And at that point, I was also dialing 911.
911.
I was just in the car with my Uber driver. He was weaving in and out of lanes. He sideswiped the car. And
Hey, what kind of car is it?
Chevy Equinox.
Did you want to talk to an officer, sir, or you just want me to put out an alert over the radio?
I just wanted to report it because I don't want someone to get hurt.
I understand what you're saying, but I need to know if you want to talk to an officer or if you want me to have an officer to just be on the lookout for it.
I just want to be on the lookout.
Okay, thank you.
People calling erratic drivers, there's not much that the police can do unless the police witness that vehicle driving erratically themselves, which unfortunately in this incident, the officers did not see that vehicle. Mellen did not wish to be contacted. If there's no complainant, there's not much that the police can do.
When I got home, that's when I filed through the app and contacted Uber, which was like via email.
Back in 2016, believe it or not, there was no way for a user to immediately call a human at Uber in case of an emergency.
Who exactly is this Uber driver, Jason Dalton? What do we know about him?
To me, the most remarkable thing about him was how unremarkable he was going into February 20th.
Jason, by all accounts, was a fairly gregarious character.
He was an insurance adjuster. He was an average person with a 9-to-5 job and a family.
He's a father like so many other Midwestern fathers, posting pictures on Facebook, and you see him there with his wife and their kids on the couch.
They've been married for over 20 years.
You see him on what seems like a pontoon boat and also playing in the snow with his kids.
Just seemed like a normal, nice guy.
Jason grew up in Indiana. He moved to Kalamazoo during high school.
He was the co-captain of the football team, and he had pretty good grades throughout high school.
I was the best man in his wedding. He could make conversation with just about anyone. He was not afraid to speak his mind, but definitely not out to ever cause anybody trouble.
He liked to work on cars. He liked to figure out how cars worked, but he also liked guns. There was a break-in that had occurred. I believe someone stole some of his prized tools, and it really bothered him. It's what he said what drove him to start collecting guns.
He owned several weapons, but not a number that would cause you to just go, oh my gosh, he had 15 guns at the house?
Those guns were all legally owned. There was nothing to prevent Mr. Dalton from owning any of the guns that he was in possession of.
I think you're going to find in this community and many others, I don't think his ownership and the number of guns was anything unusual, frankly.
Now, before Jason Dalton had taken Matt Mellen for this incredibly unusual ride, Jason Dalton's day had been completely ordinary, at least for him.
He met a friend, and during that afternoon, him and his friend visited a couple of local gun stores, which was typical for them.
When Jason Dalton goes to the gun shop, he buys both a holster and a jacket.
He was upbeat. My manager talked to Jason. Jason was very friendly with him, smiled, laughed, gave him a little one-arm hug as they walked towards the cash register. My manager told him to have a nice day, and he turned and smiled and said, "I'm going now to enjoy the weather," and that was it.
After Matt was able to escape from the wild ride with Jason Dalton then went home.
He ended up going home to his house and retrieving his weapons. At that point, we know he had a Glock 19 9mm.
Jason also put on a bulletproof vest. He gets back in his Chevy Equinox. He's off to pick up passengers, except this time he's packing heat. He's off to that fateful route where he's going to intersect with so many unsuspecting people.
And we often say things can change in a second. And in this case, changed like that.
Please hurry up. Somebody fire shots.
When he activates his Uber and he starts picking up, that's when the horror begins.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.